Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with fabulous concert programs, number 86 in that series. We took a little pause in doing these to do some other things, and some of you said, "What happened?" Well, nothing happened. We just took a little pause. So here we are, number 86. This is not part of a series. This is a miscellaneous program, but one that I think is really a lot of fun. You know, most classical programs have a format, right? And that format is like overture or short thing, big concerto with like famous soloist, theoretically, then intermission, and then the large symphonic work. Now, that can alter. For example, if the concerto is like a big thing and it's a really big soloist, that may be on the second half and something else may be on the first half. You know, it has a little teeny tiny bit of flexibility, but not a lot. Well, I've decided to combine that stuff and do a program that consists entirely of concertos for orchestra. That allows you to have your cake and eat it too. You get 4 works for orchestra, which are of symphonic proportion, or 2 of them are, and 4 concertos for orchestra, 2 of which are very short and 1 of which is kind of overture-y, but they're not in the usual spots on the program either. But wow, what a wonderful workout for a major virtuoso orchestra. I don't know if anybody would come to see it, but at this point, now that we're up to number 86 in the series, I think it's okay to do something that's a little bit off the beaten path and challenging. Well, most of these programs are off the beaten path, aren't they? Because they feature works that would otherwise never be performed, and you will never hear this program live, but what the heck, maybe a bit of it. So anyway, number 1, Hindemith, Concerto for Orchestra. This is from his Neue Sachlichkeit period, his new objectivity period, and it's one of those neoclassical, neo-baroque bump and grind pieces. It just chuggles along. It's only like 12 minutes long. It's not very long, so it's kind of overture-ish, and it has a lot of really exciting, bouncy, gnarly counterpoint. And if you like exciting, bouncy, gnarly counterpoint, you're going to love it. He wrote it for the Berlin Philharmonic, like the 1930s. And it's just exciting and bracing and tangy and lots of fun. It also has that wonderful, wonderful marking that he used in all of these pieces, ohne pathos, without pathos, because he wanted everything to be objective and clean and unsentimental. So we get the sentiment later. It's a wonderful concert opener. Next, Alfredo Casella, one of his orchestral masterpieces, his Concerto for Orchestra. It's glorious. I've talked about it before. I've encouraged many of you to listen to it. Many of you have. You all loved it as much as I did. It's an amazing piece of music. Absolutely stunning and full of wonderful melodic invention. It's similar to the Hindemith in that it has a very neoclassical outlook, but it has the pathos. You get the sentiment. I mean, the guy's Italian. It's lyrical, it's sunny, it's more tuneful and tonal. It's brilliant and it's exciting as all hell. And it brings the first half to a rousing conclusion. Then everybody runs off to intermission to go to the bathroom and to get their cough drops and do whatever they need to do. Smoke if they still do that outside. And then we get part 2. Part 2 begins with Rodion Shchedrin's Concerto for Orchestra number 1. Now, he was a Concerto for Orchestra guy. He wrote at least 5 of them. Number 1 of which is subtitled Naughty Limericks, which is a complete mistranslation of the Russian. It's based on some kind of Ukrainian folk poetry thing. People have tried to explain what it means. I have no idea what it means. I don't think it matters. It's one movement, 8 minutes long, full of crazy sonorities and interesting sounds. It is also an overture-ish kind of piece. It's delightful. It really is. And all 5 of them are well worth hearing. They're very interesting pieces, but we got to go somewhere. So I've actually heard this one live once in my life. I mean, Shchedrin got played in the wake of the Carmen Ballet. There was some interest for like 10 seconds in his other orchestral works, And so some of those pieces were performed, and that was one of them. And it was a ton of fun. It really is. And after that, well, this is the draw, of course, the iconic Concerto for Orchestra, Bartok's. And, it's just, a work of genius. It's really a 5-movement symphony. I mean, let's face it, it is of symphonic proportion and symphonic depth and symphonic construction with its sonata form first movement and all that stuff. So there you go. A wonderful program full of concerti for orchestra, or concertos for orchestra. However you choose to pluralize is fine. One that you will never hear in real life, but that you can hear at home, at your leisure. And I heartily suggest that you do so. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.